Hey friend, have you ever poured your heart into something only to watch it fall apart in front of you? Have you ever built a dream brick by brick, only to feel like the universe took a wrecking ball to it? This is for the ones who risked it all, the ones who believed until belief hurt, the ones who had to watch everything crash, just to find something better in the ruins. His name was Marcus Ellison. To the outside world, he was just another small business owner. But to Marcus, that coffee shop on the corner of 8th and Lawson was more than a business. It was his childhood dream, his late mother's inspiration, his entire heart poured into every espresso shot and cinnamon roll. Marcus had opened Harbor Cafe with nothing but a loan, a prayer, and a promise. I'll create a place that feels like home, even for the lonely. And for 4 beautiful years, he did. The walls were filled with local art. The baristas knew your name and your story. The Wi-Fi was strong, but the community was stronger. He didn't want to build an empire. He just wanted to build a place where people felt seen. But dreams, no matter how pure, aren't always protected. Started slowly. Plumbing issue here. A lease increase there. Then came the storm, literally. A record flood tore through the neighborhood. One night of heavy rain, and years of effort washed away. When Marcus arrived the next morning, the front window was shattered. Water had seeped into the flooring. The walls soaked. The machines ruined. Insurance covered some, but not enough. Still, Marcus tried. He dried what he could, rebuilt tables by hand, even sold his car to cover payroll for his staff. He smiled for the community, but behind the counter, his hands shook from exhaustion. And every night, after locking up, he'd sit on the floor in the dark, wondering if this was all some cruel test, or a slow goodbye. The final blow came 6 months later. COVID hit. Foot traffic vanished. Events were canceled. His baristas had to quit. He held on, until he couldn't. One afternoon, Marcus typed a message with trembling fingers and posted it on the cafe's Instagram. After 4 unforgettable years, we're closing our doors. Thank you for letting us be part of your stories. He didn't cry when he hit post. He cried when someone commented, "Your cafe saved my life. Thank you." And that broke him. For months, Marcus drifted. He'd walk by empty storefronts, see his reflection in the glass and wonder if he was still someone. He picked up freelance gigs, drove delivery, lived in a friend's basement. He avoided people who asked, "So what's next?" Because truthfully, he didn't know. One day, while dropping off groceries to a regular from the cafe, an elderly woman named Mrs. Jensen, she looked at him and said, "You didn't just sell coffee, Marcus. You gave people a reason to keep going." That sentence followed him home. And that night, in the quiet of his borrowed basement room, Marcus did something he hadn't done in months. He opened his laptop and typed one question at the top of a blank page. What if Harbor Cafe was never the destination, but just the beginning? What if the real dream wasn't just 4 walls and a cash register? What if it was connection? And what if that could live anywhere? Over the next year, Marcus worked, quietly, tirelessly, purposefully. He studied digital storytelling, learned how to code, started interviewing former customers, asking them what the cafe meant to them. Then, with a laptop and a few free tools, he launched Harborspace, a digital sanctuary for people craving community. It wasn't a cafe anymore. It was something bigger, a platform with daily video messages from Marcus that felt like warm conversations, a virtual coffee chats between strangers across the country, mental health check-ins, live poetry nights and storytelling workshops. People came from everywhere. Grief groups formed. Veterans found friendship. Teens wrote their first poems. Single moms found others like them. Marcus wasn't a barista anymore. He was a bridge. And Harborspace, it grew. It was featured in Forbes as the community cafe that lives in the cloud. Universities invited him to speak. He got emails like, "I haven't left my house in weeks, but your voice gave me a reason to wake up today." He still missed the smell of fresh cinnamon rolls, but he no longer missed his purpose. Because in losing his cafe, he found something unbreakable. So if you've ever watched something you loved fall apart, if you've ever stared at the ashes and wondered, was it all for nothing? This is your reminder. Sometimes the collapse is the calling. Sometimes what feels like the end is just the introduction to a better chapter. The dream didn't die, it just transformed. And so can you. What part of Marcus' story stayed with you? Have you ever lost something that ended up saving you? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe for more stories that remind you, even in the breaking, something beautiful can be born.